In this video, we're just going to go through a quick wrist routine. So the wrist, the same as any other part of your body, can get stronger, which again, I know for some reason we kind of cherry pick certain areas of the body and think that it can't get stronger or that it's dangerous. For example, things like the ankle, like getting it strong on the side of the ankle, or maybe even getting the wrist stronger. But you know, your biology all reacts in the same way, just by loading it progressively, you know, going for small gains, not doing too much, just training within your capacity, not testing limits. Any part of your body can get stronger. Exact same with the wrists. So obviously if you're looking at this, you probably have some issue with your wrist, which is why I've put it in. So we're just going to go through some simple movements that you can do and that you can progress to get the wrist stronger. So you're definitely doing the wrist curls already, so that's the simplest thing to do. You know, for people with wrist pain, which what I started off doing is, you know, just doing your wrist curls every day. So this is going to be progressing on from that. So well, first of all, if we think of the wrist and the movements that we mainly have, is we have flexion, so we have wrist flexion, wrist extension, and then we can go left and right as well. So they call that radial and ulnar deviation, usually always fancy names. Just pretty much that movement there. Like if you're in a thumbs up position, it's just coming up and down like that. So we have the flexion, extension, and then the deviation up and down. Okay, so we're just going to be working on those four movements progressively. So you can start off on your knees or on your feet if that's not comfortable, and just putting your hands on the floor. Okay, so the first place to start off if you do have pain is just get your hands on the floor. If you go on your knees, it's going to be easier. Just get your hands on the floor and see what weight you can put into it. Like if I can lean forward and come up off my knees and put more weight into it, great. If that's sore, sit back down on your hunkers. You know, don't put too much weight into the floor, and you're just getting your wrists used to a bit of weight. So we're starting off with extension there, as you can see. If we think of the movements again, so that's wrist extension for things like push-ups, and you know, it's not uncommon to get issues with the wrist because they just do a bit too much too soon. So we're just going to be rocking into it. Okay, obviously not going through pain for any of this. You're going to notice where your pain level is and work under that. So just rocking into it, and you can go for whatever reps I have in your program, probably just 10 reps, just rocking into the wrist, feeling the weight in the wrist, but obviously not doing too much. Okay, so same again then, we can do that in a few different positions. So if we're thinking wrist extension, we can still do that in a few different positions. You know, we don't just want to get it ready for push-ups, you might want to do other things, maybe even planche type work later on and things like that. So when you do your 10 there, you can still stay in wrist extension, and we can go side to side now. And again, if you need to sit down, put most of the weight on your feet and not your wrists, fine. If you can, put more weight into the wrists. Okay, same again there, you can do your reps there, and then you can put them back like this as well. So this, you may not be able to do it straight away. If not, it's fine. You can make it easier by leaning a bit forward and just try it like that. If you need to bend the arms or whatever, you can do it. But work up to getting that straight and rocking back, even getting the hands turned around fully and being able to rock back. So again, I can probably guarantee you're going to be very tight in that position. Okay, so you can even get those ones in as well, and that's going to be opening up all the wrist flexion as well. You know, we're so used to typing and on computers and things like that, it's usually very tight in that position. Okay, so there's your wrist extension. You've done them like this, you've done them like this, and you've done them like that. So the next one then, we're just going to go on to wrist flexion. So we said this is extension, this is flexion. Exact same thing again. And as always, you pick your own level. So you can start off here, do your reps there, just rock it back into it. You can do the same, just going around into the 3 different positions and just see how it's feeling. Okay, so you can get the reps in there. So we basically just did wrist extension in 3 positions, wrist flexion in 3 positions, and you're just going to work up from there on them. So to show you how you can progress them, I'll just show you in the wrist extension version. Like I said, you can sit on your heels, put very little weight into the hands. After that, you can lean up, put more weight into them. Okay, then if that's getting easy, you can go into the push-up position then. We have room here. So you can go into the push-up position then and put weight into them like that. And then as we kind of progress on even more, then you can start moving into things like push-ups. Like push-ups are going to increase the strength in the wrist. And you can do the same in those other positions, like I said. Like if you saw me do a push-up here, you know, you wouldn't think there's anything wrong with the wrist, But then for some reason, when I go into the other wrist position like this, people will think, oh, that's dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's the exact same way that, you know, we can just increase the strength of the wrist. Obviously it's tougher doing it that way, because the wrist isn't as strong in that position. But we can work up to that level of strength in any position of the wrist. And obviously, because I've got my wrist stronger, that's going to help me not to get injured doing stuff in the gym. Like, it helps me in jiu-jitsu, things like that. That's literally a wrist lock in jiu-jitsu. Someone gets in that position and pushes down as hard as they can to try and make you tap. Just think of, will you tap someone who isn't strong in that position quicker than me? Of course you will. I can handle, you know, my body weight, or not my whole body weight, but a lot of my body weight going into my wrist in that position. So that's helping me in things like jiu-jitsu. I don't have to tap half as quickly. I don't even really feel much if you do that. Obviously, if someone went too hard, I don't want to break my wrist, but actually getting yourself stronger in these weak links is what's going to make you more resilient to injury. So now that we've worked on the flexion and extension in lots of different positions and know how to get it stronger, the last movement then is the up and down, the radius and the ulnar deviation, or sorry, the radius and the ulnar deviation. Basically in a thumbs up position, the wrist going up and down, that type of movement. So the easiest way is just to grab something, if you have like a bar or a broomstick, or bar or broomstick or whatever you have that you can start off with. Anything at all with a bit of weight is fine. So grabbing this in the middle is going to make it the easiest. So if I'm just doing reps like that, just going up and down, you can see from the side, up and down. Obviously in terms of levers, if I grab the bottom of it, now there's more weight going forward, so that's obviously going to make it harder. So that's pretty much what it is. And you can just progress this up by doing more and more weight. This is going to obviously make the wrist more mobile. If you're very stiff in that position, you'll feel it opening up. And once you start getting stronger there, then you're going to be able to keep that mobility. So same as anything, I could just, well actually I could do it here. See what weight. That might actually be too heavy, 2.5 kg probably will be. We'll see what, oh Jesus, yeah, that's going to be way too heavy. Even a 1.25, we might get it here. So obviously, you're not going to do heavyweight here at all with these, because it's going to be tough. So even if I held it in the middle, there, yeah, I'll be able to do it in the middle, because I've reduced the length of the lever. So getting in reps there. Maybe if I held it at the bottom, see what happens. So obviously it's going to be tougher. Yeah, it's not too bad. So that's how you're going to train the position of the wrist there. Basically the thumbs up position, and just run down as far as you can, up as far as you can. Just train within your capacity like all the other exercises, and just slowly progress up the weight.